But I would like to invite Jax to, we've been talking lately about some fab things, and I just was hoping you could add to this
Well, look, I think Liz summed up my concerns wonderfully, and I don't think I can match that. But what I will say is I saw some confused faces when Liz mentioned the show that was on ABC on Monday night on Australian Story. And it was about a woman who, something happened to her foot and she was in quite an amount of pain, particularly when she had to walk around. And she was in touch with Philip Nitschke for a number of years. All that kind of progressed, and she went and saw her GP, and her GP referred her to a pain clinic. And instead of following that up, and instead of perhaps using a wheelchair for part of the time to assist with her mobility and decrease her pain, she took an overdose of pills and committed suicide. And the framing of the half-an-hour show was poor mum having to die alone. And one of the things that she did express to Nitschke, and she had his book on the table beside her when she died, was that she didn't want to be a burden on her family. And I think that word burden is really interesting when we're thinking about disability, because I have been told in a myriad of ways throughout my life, directly and indirectly, that I'm a burden. I've had close family members, as recently as last year, say to me, just because you don't think you're a burden doesn't mean we don't think you are one. I remember distinctly, this is just one time of many in my life, as a young person, a guy coming up, stopping me in the street, standing in front of me and saying, "I don't know how you do it. If I was you, I'd go home and kill myself right now." So, my family has a long history of depression. All the women in my mother's side have been chronically depressed. So when I had my first episode at 17, and went to the doctor and said, "I think there's something wonky with my brain chemistry, I think I need a bit of a hand," the response that I got was, "Of course you're depressed, you're in a wheelchair. We can understand why you wouldn't be here anymore." When I ended up in hospital at 26, really depressed again, asking for medication and support, and perhaps to see a counsellor who could understand the marginalised pressures of being queer and disabled and talk me through how to manage that, I was told, "Well, of course you wouldn't want to be here anymore. We can all understand if you want to go home and, do this. We'd prefer if you didn't and, pull your socks up and get on with your life, but we can understand why you would feel this way." And so having lived through that multiple times in my life and being in those really dark spaces, one of the things that concerns me personally as well as politically with the passing of this bill is that I was very articulate and clear about my desire not to be here anymore and why I should be supported and enabled to do that. So we have suicide prevention and crisis support for non-disabled people when they go through tough times and mental health issues. But for people with disabilities, we are told it's understandable. It's understandable that you would want to do this. And I think currently we can't separate the society in which we live that is ableist, that tells us that our lives aren't worth living, that doesn't provide us with the kind of supports that we need to live a good and rich and full life, where we come up against, again and again, profound levels of discrimination and disadvantage in our daily life. When a society tells me that it's understandable that you wouldn't want to be here, and that is the logical choice that you would make, and it tells non-disabled people, well, you need help and support to get through these hard times, that is why I'm so deeply concerned. And I find myself in this room today with people who I know to be homophobic and transphobic and queerphobic and say some terrible things about my LGBTI community. And it's hard for me to be here. But I'm here because I think this issue is so important in terms of the ramifications that it could have for people with disabilities in this country. that I'm here, even though it's challenging intersectionally to be here. That's all I have to say, and I'm open to questions.